Technology isn't just nibbling at the edges of finance anymore. It's rewriting the entire rulebook. And in the process, it's forcing some very, very unlikely players into the exact same ring.
In this quote, it just nails the current moment. The lines are blurring so fast it's almost dizzying. It's no longer clear who's a bank, who's a tech company, or who's something else entirely. They're all getting pulled toward the same magnetic center, this powerful fusion of money, software, and just massive, massive scale.
So, to really get a handle on this convergence, we're going to unpack 3 stories. Now, at first glance, they have absolutely nothing to do with each other. But, as we're about to see, they're all just different signals of the same huge earthquake shaking the financial world.
Okay, first up, the old guard. We're talking about a legacy giant like HSBC and how it's finally being forced to confront this technological tidal wave that, honestly, it's spent decades trying to ignore.
The bank is reportedly looking at cutting up to 20,000 jobs. Now, let's be clear. This isn't just a minor tweak or some simple cost-saving move. No, this represents a fundamental personality change for a company of this size and age. It's huge.
And this slide, this really gets to the heart of it. The old model for a bank was super simple. If you wanted to grow, you hired more people and you built more branches. But today, growth is all about software. It's about efficiency, not headcount. And HSBC is kind of trapped right in the middle of this really painful evolution.
This quote just brilliantly illustrates the ruthless mindset you need to survive this shift. It's not about tradition or legacy anymore. It's about pure, unfiltered efficiency. The whole internal conversation has shifted from, so how do we grow, to a much more brutal question. Wait, why do we still need this many people to run this bank?
So here's the bottom line for this part of the story. HSBC's biggest competitor isn't another bank across the street. It's the very code that threatens to make its entire business model a relic of the past.
All right, let's totally switch gears for our second story. We're going to look at a company you'd probably never connect with finance that is quietly weaving itself into the very fabric of the system.
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Palantir, a company known for its kind of shadowy work with intelligence agencies, is now building a mortgage platform? On the surface, it seems like a bizarre move, but when you dig in a little, it's actually a stroke of genius.
See, Palantir isn't trying to be the next cool banking app on your phone. They're making what's called an infrastructure play. They look at the messy, document-heavy, painfully manual mortgage process, and they don't see a financial product. They see a broken data system. And you know what? Fixing broken systems is what they do best.
This analogy just perfectly captures their strategy. While all the flashy consumer fintechs are fighting for your attention up on the surface, Palantir is quietly down in the basement, rebuilding the pipes that the entire system relies on. They're not just playing the game, they are literally trying to rewrite the rules.
And now for our final story. This one just completely explodes our traditional definition of what a financial product even is. Let's talk about Kalshi. So this company just hit a massive valuation of around $2.2 billion. And what it does at its core is let you trade on the outcome of real-world events. You think inflation's going to go up? Will a specific hurricane make landfall? You can actually trade on it.
So, what does a number like that actually tell us? It's way more than just a big check. It's a really powerful message from the market about where the future of finance is actually headed. To put it in perspective, just look at this. Kalshi's valuation is roughly the same as SoFi. Now remember, SoFi is a full-stack digital bank. It offers loans, checking accounts, the whole shebang. Kalshi lets you trade your opinions on reality. And the market is essentially saying these two completely different businesses are worth about the same. It's kind of wild. And that's the real insight here. The very definition of a financial product is being stretched to its absolute breaking point. The new rule is, if you can put a price on an outcome, you can trade it. And if you can trade it, well, it's now officially part of the financial universe. So let's bring these 3 very different stories, HSBC, Palantir, and Kalshi, back together and see the bigger picture they're all painting for us.
What we have here are really just 3 sides of the same coin. You've got HSBC using subtraction, cutting people to become more like a software company. You have Palantir rebuilding the system from the inside out, and then you have Kalshi pursuing this radical expansion, turning literally anything into a financial asset. All of them are converging on the exact same point, just from totally different directions.
And this leaves us with a pretty fascinating and maybe even a little unsettling question. As code continues to devour the world and we get the power to price,
package, and trade almost any conceivable outcome, does everything eventually just become finance? Does it all just become another asset class? It's a wild thought, but it's the future that seems to be unfolding right before our eyes.